up, you guys? My name is Aubrey, this is my channel, and today I want to talk about something super important. You see, over the last couple of months, demand for Turo has absolutely skyrocketed. The rental car business in general is absolutely going insane. Traditional rental car companies are running out of vehicles, thus turning people to Turo. The interest in new hosts has skyrocketed, and the price per day for vehicles is higher than I've ever seen it before. But does this mean that we're in a bubble, and does this mean that some darker times are looming? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down my exact thoughts, and if there's going to be a Turo market crash, I'm going to tell you how to prepare. So let's get started. Now, I've been a part of the Turo platform since 2017, and I've been talking about Turo on YouTube since January of 2020. But in all of my years of Turo, as well as talking about Turo, I've never seen the demand, the interest in the platform like what we're experiencing now. There is so much interest in Turo and in peer-to-peer car sharing, from both the perspective of renters as well as from the perspective of hosts. A couple of years ago, the vast majority of my renters on Turo were younger people who were very familiar with the peer-to-peer sharing marketplace. And I very rarely got older people, people that never used the app before, or people that were traveling for work. It was almost always people that were around my age, younger millennials or Gen Zs. But now in 2021, I'm seeing more and more people that are older using the app, people in their 50s, 60s, even sometimes in their 70s. And I'm seeing more and more first-time renters that have never used the platform in the past, which is a great sign to show that the platform is growing and that there is more brand awareness surrounding the Turo brand. On the flip side, I'm seeing more and more people who are interested in starting a Turo business. My Turo videos are doing better than they've ever done before. I'm getting a lot of people purchasing my Turo course. I get dozens of questions every single day from people like you who want to know about Turo and want to know the best practices for starting their own Turo business. All in all, demand is crazy. But then that begs the question of why has there been such a crazy demand in Turo over the last few months? And I have a few theories as to why. Number one is the fact that travel is booming right now. With travel restrictions coming down and the United States opening back up, people have been pent up in their homes for the last year and a half. And as a result, they're ready to get out, they're ready to go on vacation. And so because of this, the travel industry has experienced a massive boom over the last few months. And with travel comes rental cars. And when people are going out of town, they need a car to drive. And so they turn to rental car agencies and peer-to-peer car sharing platforms. But the problem is traditional rental car companies like Avis, Hertz, Budget, Enterprise are experiencing a rental car shortage like never before. This is because during the height of the pandemic, they had to sell off a huge portion of their fleet in order to avoid bankruptcy. And now, sitting in July of 2020, there is a new car shortage because of a chip shortage that is preventing car manufacturers from manufacturing new cars. And as a result, rental car companies are not able to replenish their fleet in order to accommodate to the increased demand. It's basically a huge domino effect that stems from the fact that all of this is happening at once, and there are a lot of pieces at play creating this huge pent-up demand. Well, the fact that rental car companies are not able to accommodate to all of these renters that are wanting to rent cars has been a really good thing for Turo, because since rental car companies aren't able to accommodate, these renters are turning to non-traditional platforms, like Turo, for example. And renters that at one point in time would never look to explore renting on a peer-to-peer car sharing platform like Turo are now kind of forced to because they have no other option. So they turn to Turo, they rent cars on the Turo, and they find that the platform actually works, creating new repeat renters. This has increased the demand substantially for rental cars on Turo, making it so that hosts can now increase their prices, meaning that hosts are making more money than ever. Well, the spotlight that's been on the rental car industry, as well as the increase in earnings for Turo hosts, has made it so that many more hosts are interested in joining the Turo platform. In fact, I have recently seen more new cars joining the Turo platform than ever before. I'm seeing more and more cars join, I'm seeing more and more markets being flooded with more cars, and I'm seeing more and more hosts join as brand new hosts. This is of course due to, again, the fact that there's a huge demand for rental cars. People are spreading the word of Turo and Turo is becoming more mainstream, but also there's more and more people like me who are on YouTube talking about how great Turo is as a platform, and as a result, people want to join. This all sounds great on the surface. People are renting cars, people are joining the platform, people are making money. It is a great situation, yeah? Well, not really, or it may not be. You see, all of this that's currently going on with the rental car industry in Turo, there's a chance that it's going to be temporary. In fact, I think that there is a high likelihood that it's going to be temporary. You see, as of right now, this rental car shortage that we're seeing, it won't last forever. Whenever car manufacturers catch up with their car production, rental car fleets will be able to replenish their fleets and then once again be able to meet demand that they need to meet. You see, once this happens, the demand for rental cars will go down. And as a result, companies as well as hosts will be forced to lower their trip price for their vehicles. Not only that, but over the last year and a half, many people have been working from home. Students haven't been in school, and as a result, people have been driving around more often. But whether we like it or not, the world is returning to normal. Kids are returning to school, people are returning to the office, and the flexibility with our day-to-day lives is going to become, well, less flexible. And because of that, we will start to return to our regular routine, our regular habits, and the need for rental cars will probably decrease as well. And the third factor that I have to talk about that seems on the surface to not relate directly to this issue, but it absolutely does, is the fact that the used and new car market is in a huge bubble right now. You see, I mentioned earlier that there's currently a chip shortage affecting car manufacturers in their ability to manufacture cars. Because of this, there's a huge car shortage for both new and used cars. And as a result, there's been a huge increase in the price for both new and used vehicles. In fact, in many cases, used cars are being sold for anywhere between 30 and 50% more than they were being sold for this time last year. And in some cases, used cars are being sold more today than they were when they were new when they were originally purchased. This means that many people have been paying a premium for their cars, and that includes Turo hosts that are renting their cars on the Turo platform. And the reason why I mention any of this is because of the fact that I believe that all of these factors are going to play an important role in Turo and the performance of Turo hosts over the next year's time. You see, with this surge in demand over the last few months, we've not only seen an increase in the amount of money that hosts are making, but we've also seen an increase in the number of hosts that are on the platform, as well as the number of cars that are on the platform as well. A lot of hosts are expanding, and a lot of new hosts are joining the platform. But when this demand dies down, and in my opinion, it's not a matter of if the demand dies down, and is simply a matter of when, we will not only see a drastic decrease in the amount of money that each host is making, we'll also see a drastic decrease in the amount of renters that are able and available to rent your cars, which means there are going to be a lot of hosts and a lot of cars that simply aren't getting rentals. Large Turo markets are already becoming saturated, but the saturation isn't evident right now because of the fact that there is this influx in demand. But once this demand dissipates, you'll start to feel this oversaturation. This, paired with the fact that hosts have been paying a premium for vehicles, is an equation for disaster, because I believe that once these hosts realize that the amount of money they've been making off of their vehicles is unsustainable, that the amount of guests they've been getting with their vehicles is unsustainable, they'll quickly realize that Turo may not be as profitable as they thought it was, and they may start to struggle to make their monthly payments on their vehicle that they financed at a premium price. Now, in my opinion, it's not a matter of if what I've just laid out is going to happen, it's a matter of when. The Turo market will cool down. It's just a matter of how much will it cool down. But the good news is, I think that there's some real things that you can start doing now to prepare yourself so that when the market slows down, you can come out ahead. Number one is to never pay a premium price for your Turo cars. This is where I believe that hosts will end up getting hurt the most. Whenever Turo hosts have paid a premium, overvalued price for their cars, that's whenever they will end up losing in the case of a total loss, a damage claim, or even just on their day-to-day price for their vehicle. It is incredibly important that you pay below market value. And though below market value is a different price today than it was 3 years ago, below market value is still below market value. And it's important to be very, very mindful about how much money you're paying for these cars. The people that have paid 30 to 40 to 50% higher than they should have on vehicles are the Turo hosts that are going to be hurt the most. Number two is to streamline operations as much as possible and to make your operations as cost effective as possible. A decrease in daily price for your Turo fleet can be compensated if you can figure out a way to efficiently manage your fleet. Buying things like oil, tires, brake pads in bulk, doing basic maintenance on your own, creating a relationship with local shops that can do work at a discount. These are all ways where you can save money without cutting corners, and this will really help you and your bottom line if and when the Turo market crashes. And the third and final thing that you can do is adjust your mindset and prepare yourself mentally for the dust to settle. The fact is, there's a lot of hosts right now making a lot of money, which is amazing to see, and I'm truly so happy for all of these hosts that are killing it. But whenever the market does shift and whenever these hosts' earnings start to decrease, that may be something that is mentally difficult to handle. And I think that the best thing that you can tell yourself is to say, hey, the last 6 months have been amazing. Turo Demand has been through the roof. I've made a ton of money. This has been great. but I've got to prepare myself because this won't continue forever. I think preparing yourself for that decrease in earnings is something that can be really good for your mental state, and it can allow for you to continue making money through Turo even if it's not quite as much as you were making before. Now, I don't make this video to be negative or to try to discourage new hosts from joining the platform. I am still extremely bullish on the Turo platform. I'm expanding my own fleet to 20 cars. I recommend Turo to everybody. I have a Turo course, and if I didn't think that Turo was a good platform, I simply wouldn't be here talking about it. But I do think it's important to manage expectations, and the fact is the demand is going to die down. It's just a matter of when and how much, and I think it is so incredibly important to be prepared for that. But fortunately, everything I've talked about today will help you prepare for when the demand settles. It will help prepare you financially, it'll help prepare your fleet, and it'll help prepare you mentally for the decrease in earnings that could potentially come. But like always, you guys, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any questions, comments, if you have anything to add, I would love to hear your thoughts, so make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.